Hello students, welcome to Tungala online classes. So in this session we are going to start the next chapter, which is linear programming. Okay, so linear programming. From this topic, for the board exam there will be one mark question given and one 6 marks question will be given. So total 7 marks from this chapter, linear programming. So the basic for this chapter, linear programming, it is the linear inequalities we studied in the first year. Okay, so remember we studied linear inequalities, solution of a system of linear inequalities by using a graph method. Okay, so all the things again we are going to use here. Okay, so after drawing that solution of system of linear inequalities graphically, now there will be some extension, that is what we are going to study here. Okay, so I will suggest you to go through that system of linear inequalities solution by graph method, okay, from the first year. So go through that once so that we can better understand what is this linear programming. Okay, so here in real life situations there will be some problems, okay, which has to be maximized or minimized. Okay, so there will be certain quantities where we have to maximize or minimize. Like if you are into business, okay, so in the business, suppose you are having the business of selling chairs and tables. Okay, you are having a furniture shop. Now in that you are selling chairs and tables. Now what is the main objective or aim of the business? Any business, the main objective is that getting the profit. Okay, the profit should be maximum. So we are maximizing some quantity. Here it is profit. Okay, so profit we have to maximize. Some quantities will be there, we have to minimize, like cost or investment. It should be minimized. Okay, with less cost we want to get more profit. So these are the certain problems, okay, where we are maximizing or minimizing certain quantities. Okay, now to get the maximum profit there will be some conditions. Okay, I am telling that you are having the business of selling chairs and tables. We are having this business. Okay, to get the maximum profit, now there will be some conditions or restrictions or conditions. Now what can be the restrictions here? Now one restriction may be the investment that we are doing. Okay, you may be having some 10 lakhs of rupees. Okay, so you cannot invest more than 10 lakhs of rupees. So one restriction or the condition is on investment. Now what can be the other restrictions? Now to have the business you will need some room, okay, some space where we can sell this chairs and tables. So one restriction is on space. Okay, so space is one restriction where we cannot accommodate more number of tables or more number of chairs. So there will be number of these units are limited, okay, according to the size of your room. Okay, so that is one more restriction, space restriction here. Okay, you cannot accommodate suppose 100 units. Okay, suppose you can accommodate only 40 units of chairs and 20 units of tables. Okay, so there will be some restriction on this number of units because of the space concern. Small room, now we cannot accommodate more number of units. Okay, so more number of units we cannot accommodate means our profit will be less. So we have to consider or restrict on this space also. So utilizing all these resources, okay, with minimal investment and utilizing all the space available, now what we want is we want to get the profit as maximum. Okay, so this type of real life problems will be solving in this linear programming. So linear it indicates the variables what we are considering they are linear. Programming, so here programming means here we don't develop any C programming or Java programming like this, okay. It is what? The plan of action, okay. So how do we take a plan of action so that we will get the maximum value of this profit, or if you want to find minimal cost, how do we find that, okay. So that is what we are going to study in this linear programming. So before studying about all that, there will be certain terms, okay, which you have to define first. Now the definition of these terms will be given for 1 mark type, okay. So first definition, it is the objective function. Objective function. So definition of objective function, a function of the form z is equal to ax plus by, z is equal to ax plus by, which has to be maximize or minimize in a linear programming problem. Is called objective function. Understand? So function in the form z is equal to ax plus by, here a, b are constants, okay. A and b are constants, x and y are the variables. Now which has to be maximized or minimized in a linear programming problem, it is called as a objective function, okay. So x and y are variables. Now what are these variables? In the example of chairs and tables, suppose I take x is the number of units of chairs we sell and y is the number of units of tables we sell, okay. So these are the variables. Now function in this form z is equal to ax plus by, it is called as objective function, which has to be maximized or minimized in a linear programming problem, okay. So in this case, in the example we are discussing here, what is our objective function? We can take profit. Now we can take profit as the objective function, because our main objective is to maximize this quantity. So the quantity which is maximized or minimized, we can take it as objective function. So profit function, now we can take it as objective function here. Now what will be the profit? We can write here profit, it is denoted in the form of z, okay. Suppose by selling each chair we get a profit of 200 rupees, and on each table suppose if we are getting a profit of 500 rupees, okay. So this is the profit we will get on each of these units. Now what will be the total profit we will get? What will be the total profit I can get? For each unit of chair we are getting 200 rupees. Now if I am selling x units of chairs and y units of tables, we don't know what are these x and y values, okay. So if I am selling x units of chairs, what will be the profit we get? 200 into x, for each chair 200 rupees. Now for x number of chairs there will be profit of 200 rupees. So here profit I can write as 200 into x plus profit on tables. For each unit of table we are getting 500 rupees profit. Now for y units, what will be the profit? 500 into y, okay. So the function in this form ax plus by, it is called as the objective function, which is to be maximized or minimized in a linear programming problem. Understand definition? This is objective function. Next, we define constraints. What are these constraints? Constraints are nothing but the restrictions or conditions on the variables x and y, okay. Now to sell this chairs and tables, as I told, there will be some restrictions, okay, there will be some conditions. We cannot sell more number of chairs or more number of tables because of the space concern, and also investment is limited. Okay, investment is limited means we have to limit the number of tables and chairs. So there will be some restrictions on this number of units. So these restrictions are called as the constraints. Okay, so constraints defined as the restrictions or conditions on the decision variables. The decision variables are x and y. Restrictions or conditions on the decision variables are called constraints. Understand? The restrictions or conditions on this decision variables is here x and y are called decision variables, are called as the constraints. Okay, so the decision variables x and y here, the number of units, they can never be negative. Okay, so x and y are always positive. Here x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0. This condition, whether it is mentioned or not mentioned, always we assume. Okay, so whenever any problem related to linear programming, the number of units or this decision variables, always we take it as positive, because there is no possibility of having the number of units as negative. Okay, so x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0 are the non-negative constraints. These are the non-negative constraints. Okay, so non-negative means they cannot be negative, either they can be 0 or positive. Understand? So we are studying the definition of objective function and then constraints, and we take only positive values for these variables, so they are non-negative constraints. Understand? So for any business there will be some objective. Okay, any problem there will be some objective, that is maximizing or minimizing that function, which is called as objective function. Now to get that maximum profit or minimum value of any quantity, there will be certain restrictions or conditions. So these restrictions or conditions, we are calling it as constraints. Now these constraints usually we will be writing in the form of linear inequalities. Okay, the constraints will be writing in the form of linear inequalities. See why? Because suppose the number of units, okay, the number of units you can accommodate in the room is a maximum of 100. So what is the linear constraint I can write here? The number of chairs plus number of tables, it should be less than or equal to 100. You cannot accommodate more than 100 units of these chairs and tables. So the number of units of chairs and tables, it cannot exceed 100. So it should be less than or equal to 100. So these restrictions or conditions we are writing in the form of linear inequalities. Okay, so these constraints are always represented in the form of linear inequalities. Understand? Right. Next. So as we discussed these constraints, we are writing in the form of linear inequalities. First I will take theoretically, okay, then we will solve numericals based on this constraints. Okay. So constraints, as I told that we are discussing in terms of linear inequalities. Suppose if we have the linear inequalities like this, a1x plus b1y plus c1 less than or equal to 0. a2x plus b2y plus c2 greater than or equal to 0. Suppose here less than or equal to 0. X greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So constraints we are writing in the form of linear inequalities like this. So here what we do is, first you have to draw the graphical solution for this constraints. Okay. Already we studied in first year how to solve these inequalities graphically. Okay. Suppose if you are having the solution like this. For example, we are having the solution like this. First inequality, suppose we are having like this. This is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0 represents a straight line. Now we are having less than or equal to 0. Now what is the less than or equal to 0 represents? It represents the half plane, either below the line or above the line. Now to check that which region is required, below the line or above the line? Now depends on a test point. So take any one test point, okay, below the line or above the line, and substitute in that inequality. If it satisfies, then the region where the test point lies, that is the required region. So suppose if you are here, if you are taking the region below the line, this is all example I am taking. When we solve numerical, clearly we will get which region will be required. So inequality represents a half plane. Suppose we need the half plane which is below this line. Next, a2x plus b2y plus c2 less than or equal to 0. Suppose if we have another inequality like this. This is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. And we are having below the line. For example, if I take the region which is present below this second line. Next, so what is x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0 represents? This represents the solution region in the first quadrant, because we need x positive and y positive. So represents solution region in first quadrant. Okay. So in first quadrant, satisfying these two inequalities. Now what region I can take? Observe, below this first line and below this second line and in first quadrant. Okay. We cannot go beyond first quadrant. So this will be the common region I can take. Clearly you have to understand, this is what already we studied in linear inequalities first year. So shade this region. So this darkly shaded region is what? The common region to all these inequalities. Okay. So up to here what we studied in the first year, solving the system of linear inequalities graphically. Okay. Some inequalities or constraints will be given. Let us draw the graph of all these inequalities and obtain the common region. Okay. Now for this common region, now there will be some extension, that is what we are going to study here. So again there is some definition. Feasible region or also it is called as solution region. Feasible region or solution region. So this is what we are calling it as a feasible region or solution region. So how can we define it? This can be defined as the common region. This is a common region satisfied by all the inequalities given or all the constraints given is called as feasible region or solution region. Okay. The common region which is common to all these inequalities. So this region is called as a feasible region. So definition of feasible region or solution region, it is defined as the common region satisfied by all the constraints or linear inequalities is called feasible region. Okay, the common region satisfied by all the constraints or all the inequalities, it is called as the feasible region. So this is the feasible region here. Right. Now in this feasible region there are two types. One is a bounded feasible region, another is a unbounded feasible region. Okay, bounded feasible region, second one is unbounded feasible region. The feasible region can be of two types. One is a bounded feasible region, another is unbounded feasible region. So bounded feasible region means, bounded means it is bounded in between some boundaries. Okay, so the feasible region which can be enclosed in the form of a closed shape. Okay, if it is possible to enclose this feasible region in the form of a closed shape, that can be a square or a circle, anything we can take. Now here this is the feasible region. Now I can enclose this in the form of a closed diagram. Suppose if I take circle, so this can be enclosed in the form of a circle. So this is the bounded one. This is a bounded feasible region. Understanding? So if it is possible to enclose that feasible region in the form of a circle, okay, within the circle or within the square, any closed diagram or closed shape we can take. So this is bounded in between these boundaries. So this is a bounded feasible region. Now what is unbounded? So unbounded means there are no boundaries which can extend up to infinite. Okay, so that is called unbounded region, where it is not possible to enclose that region or feasible region in the form of a closed diagram. So if I take a diagram like this, suppose we need the region above this first line, for example, and there is another line, suppose this is the second line, and we need the region above this second line also. Now observe, what is the common region here? Above the first line and also the above second line. Above the first line and above the second line means this will be the common region we can take. Okay, so all this region will be the feasible region. We can shade all this region. Now, is it possible to enclose this feasible region in the form of a circle here? Within a circle, can we enclose this? Not possible, because this will be extended up to infinite. So we cannot enclose all this region in the form of closed shape. So that's why it is unbounded feasible region. Understanding? So in feasible region we have two types, bounded feasible region and unbounded feasible region. So from diagram it will be clear, is it bounded within some limits or is it extended up to infinite. So based on that we have bounded feasible region and then unbounded feasible region. Understand? So as per the reduced syllabus, we are having only the bounded feasible region. Okay, so about this unbounded feasible region, this is deleted from our portion. So we don't study much about this unbounded feasible region. Understand? Next, after feasible region, we write feasible solution. feasible solution. So feasible solution, it is any point in this feasible region will give the feasible solution. Okay, any point we take in this feasible region, we take this point or this point, any point we take in this feasible region, now that will always give the feasible solution. Okay, next we study about infeasible region. Now what is infeasible region means? Feasible region we know, the region which is common to all these inequalities. Now infeasible region means the region which is not common to all these inequalities. So outside this feasible region, now you can take all this as infeasible region. Okay, outside the feasible region, now any other part we take, now that way you can call it as infeasible region. And infeasible solution, infeasible solution, any point we take outside the feasible region, if we take this point or this point, any point we take outside the feasible region, now that point will give infeasible solution. Understand? So these are some definitions related to this linear programming terms. Okay. Now here our main objective is, what is our main objective? You have to find the maximum or minimum values of objective function. Now where we are going to get that maximum or minimum value of this objective function? Okay. So since this is a feasible region, now any point here, okay, any point we take, we are calling it as feasible solution. But out of all that, what we are interested in only one point where we are getting the maximum or minimum value of objective function. Okay. So there will be one point in this region which corresponds to the maximum or minimum value of objective function. Okay. That point must lie in the feasible solution only. We cannot take outside the feasible region. So a point in this feasible region which gives the maximum or minimum value of objective function, now that is called as optimal solution. Okay, important. Optimal solution. Optimal solution. So how do we define optimal solution? A point in this feasible region which gives the maximum or minimum value of objective function, it is called as the optimal solution. A point in feasible region which gives maximum or minimum value of the objective function is called as the optimal solution. Understanding? We are taking a point in this feasible region. Now any point we take, it is called as feasible solution. But we are not interested in feasible solution. What we are interested here? We are interested in a particular point, okay, where we are going to get the maximum or minimum value of the objective function. Such a point is called as the optimal solution. Okay. Now we can observe that in this region there are infinitely many points. Understanding? There are infinitely many points. Now how we will come to know that at which point we are going to get this optimal solution? Understanding? Since we are having a feasible region like this, now there will be infinite number of points in this feasible region. Now out of all that infinite number of points, how do we know that at which point we are going to get this optimal solution? Okay. So directly by taking all the points we cannot find. So there is some theorem, okay, which is called as corner point theorem. So using this corner point theorem, we can find this optimal solution. Okay. So first we will go through that theorem, then we will come to know that how do we find this optimal solution. Okay. So that is called corner point theorem. corner point theorem. So what this corner point theorem says is, the optimal value or optimal solution for a linear programming problem, it will be always obtained at the corner points of feasible region. Okay, the optimal solution will always be obtained at the corner point of the feasible region. So this is what corner point theorem says. The optimal solution of a linear programming problem is always obtained at the corner point of the feasible region. This is what the corner point theorem says. Okay, see what is the meaning of this. So as we have seen in that last case, we are drawing two inequalities below this line and below this second line, and x positive, y positive means we are taking the solution region only in this first quadrant. So this is what our feasible region is. An example we discussed previously. Right. So now here this is a feasible region. We are having many feasible solutions, but out of all that feasible solutions, we are interested in getting this optimal solution where we get maximum value or minimum value of the objective function. So where do we get this optimal solution? According to corner point theorem, what it says is, the optimal solution of linear programming problem, it is always obtained at the corner points of feasible region. This is a feasible region. Now what are the corner points here? Corner points are nothing but the points where the two lines are intersecting, okay, or the points where we are having boundaries are intersecting. So these are the boundaries. Now these boundaries are intersecting at these points. Suppose this is origin, this is A, B, and this is C. Understanding? So the intersection of these boundary lines, they are called as the corner points of this feasible region. Now can we have any other corner points? Okay, there are no other corner points. The intersection of these boundary lines are called as the corner points. So that also may be asked in the form of definition. Corner points. So what are corner points means? It is the intersection of boundary lines are called as corner points. Maybe definition also asked for corner point. Okay, so these are the corner points in this feasible region. Now what corner point theorem says is, the maximum value or minimum value of the objective function, it is always obtained only at this corner points. Okay, so at the point O, A, B, C, at these points only we can get the optimal solution for a linear programming problem. Understand? So we are not interested in any other points. We will be interested only in this corner points, right? Now as the feasible region, maybe it is bounded or unbounded. If it is bounded, so in a bounded feasible region, In the case of bounded feasible region like this, both the maximum value, both maximum and minimum values of objective function z exist. Whenever the feasible region is bounded like this, both the minimum value and also the maximum value of objective functions will exist, and they must exist, and they must occur at the corner point only. Understanding? Whether the maximum or minimum, if it exists, now they must be occurring at this corner points only. Okay. So in case of bounded feasible region, what I am saying is both the minimum value exist and also the maximum value of objective function exist, and where they are existing at this corner points, right? If it is unbounded feasible region, in unbounded feasible region, maximum and minimum of the objective function may or may not exist. Okay. If it is unbounded feasible region, so in case of unbounded feasible region, the minimum value and maximum value of objective function, it may or may not exist. Okay. So that is a separate case. It may or may not exist, but if it exists, where they should occur, whether it is bounded or unbounded, if you are getting maximum or minimum, they must occur at the corner points only. So in case of bounded, both will exist, whereas in case of unbounded region, the minimum and maximum, it may or may not exist. Okay. So when it will exist, that we don't have to study here, because this is a deleted portion. So as per the reduced syllabus, we don't study about unbounded region, so we don't have to go through about this. So we will go through only this bounded feasible region. Okay. So in case of bounded feasible region, what we are saying here, both the minimum and maximum values of z exist, and where they are existing only at this corner points. Understand? So this is how we are going to get the maximum value or minimum values of objective function z given. Understanding? So the problem will be like this. We have to maximize or minimize the objective function given in the form ax plus by, maximize or minimize the objective function z in the form ax plus by, subjected to some constraints. Constraints will be given or restrictions will be given, like x plus 3y greater than or equal to 6, 2x minus y less than or equal to 3, like this, x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0, like this, some restrictions will be given. So here what we do is, where we get the maximum or minimum of this objective function only at the corner points. So first you have to decide that corner points. For that what we do, we will draw the solution of this linear inequalities graphically. So like this, we draw all these inequalities and obtain the feasible region. After obtaining the feasible region, we have to see is it bounded or not. We are discussing about bounded regions. So once it is a bounded region, now what you have to do is, we have to obtain these corner points. There is a intersection of boundary lines. Obtain these corner points. After obtaining the corner points, now what we do is, at these points only we will get a maximum or minimum of z. Okay. So substitute these corner points. Substitute these corner points in z. Okay. So after substituting the corner points in z, we will be getting some values. Out of all that, the least value is the minimum of objective function. The greatest value of all this is the maximum value of objective function. Okay. So this is a method of solving the linear programming problem using graphical method. Understand now? So, I will give the working method how to solve the linear programming problem. Okay. So, after this working method, we will take the numerical and solve. Understand? Right, working method. To solve a linear programming problem. So, observe carefully. When we are solving the problems, we are going to use this method of solving. Okay. So, here there will be some objective function given. We have to minimize or maximize the objective function z equal to ax plus by given. Understand? So, we are minimizing or maximizing the objective function subjected to some constraints. Subjected to constraints like a1x plus b1y plus c1 less than or equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 greater than or equal to 0, x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0. So, like this some numerical problem will be given. Now, here what we do is the working method. First step. So, what is the first step? We have to draw the solution of this linear inequalities. Okay. So, draw the solution of constraints linear inequalities or constraints graphically. Draw the solution of linear inequalities or constraints graphically and obtain the feasible region. Right? We are drawing the graph and we are obtaining the feasible region, that is the common region satisfied by all the inequalities. So, first you have to identify that common region and shade it darkly. This is the first step. This already we know, we solved in the first year, system of linear inequalities solving graphically. Now, after obtaining the feasible region, so second step. So, here the step 2 is we have to identify the corner points. After getting the feasible region, identify corner points like A, B, C, D like this. We may have 2 corner points or 3 corner points, any number of corner points will be there. So, identify the corner points A, B, C, D like this. Now, after finding these corner points, we have to evaluate the value of Z. Okay. After writing the corner points and evaluate the value of Z at each corner point. Understanding? We are identifying the corner points. After finding that corner points, we are finding the value of Z at each of these corner points. Now, we will get some value for objective function Z at each of the corner points. Let M be the least value of z and capital M be the greatest value of z. Okay, identifying the corner points and substituting that corner points in the objective function z, we are getting some values. Out of all that values, suppose m is the least value and capital M is the greatest value. Next, third step. Now what we studied according to corner point theory, whether we get maximum or minimum, it is always obtained at the corner points only. Now if it is a bounded or unbounded feasible region, okay, based on whether the feasible region is bounded or unbounded. Now again we have to consider the two cases. Step 3. If feasible region is bounded, then what we studied in the theorem, if the feasible region is bounded means we will get both the maximum and minimum value of z, both must occur, and where they will occur? At the corner points. So whenever the feasible region is bounded, both the minimum value and maximum value of z exist. Minimum value is nothing but the least value. So m is the minimum value of z and capital M is the maximum value of z. Okay. So if the feasible region is bounded, then small m is the minimum value of z and capital M is the maximum value of z. Understand? This is what we are finding. We are finding the minimum value or maximum value of z. Okay. In case of bounded feasible region, we will be getting both the minimum value and maximum value. That least value m, small m, is called the minimum value, and the greatest value, capital M, it is called the maximum value of objective function. Understand? So this is for bounded feasible region. If it is unbounded, minimum and maximum may or may not exist. Okay. So about that unbounded regions, now we are not going to discuss. Okay. So since it is only bounded feasible regions, we will stop here. This is a working method to solve a problem based on linear programming. Understand? So go through these steps. First step already we studied in first year. Okay, drawing the graph of inequalities. Now here what is the extension we are studying? The extension is we are identifying the corner points and get the value of z at that corner points. Based on bounded or unbounded, we are going to get minimum and maximum values of z. Understand? Right. So go through the theory related to this linear programming. Okay. So go through all these topics. So next class we will start the numericals based on this. Okay. Thank you.